Hello, 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 and welcome. Today, guess what? We're focusing on the Infinity Journal. I guess you can tell that. This is the one that I'm doing with you guys. It's the front that we did in the live last week. It's a little it's a pocket with a tag in, a journaling card. And then this page I went through with you one day in the week, I can't remember. It's also a pocket. It's got the butterflies down there. This I haven't done with you because actually there's no real difference. They're pretty much the same. Instead of butterflies, this one's got a stamp of a flower and some text that came with that stamp, and it's the same sort of thing, so I don't really need to go through that. It's an inked background stamped on, then it's got the flower stamped on it, so it's very straightforward. And today we need something for this page. So at the same time as doing that, I'm sort of trying to do experiment with what's going in here. So I haven't done my front yet or that, but this is the page that I thought we could do today. It's lovely. I love it. It's kind of that same colour, isn't it? Yeah, everything seems to be turning out this colour, but don't worry, it will change in the fullness of time. So that's our ambition, to get something that looks similar to that. Okay, so we need our background again. Now I only need a piece that's, well, it's 6x4 is my journal size, but I'd like it to be 7x5 so I can tuck in gussets. So I've just, this was a remnant of a piece of paper. This is super smooth paper. It's not designed to be soaking wet, it's just paper. The super smooth card, yeah, you can get that as wet as you like, but this, got to just be a touch careful with. So I'm going to use my distress paints today, and I'm going to use Salvage Patina and Vintage Photo. So let's start with the Vintage Photo. I've got this is the mat that comes to go on your media mat when you buy it. And I don't want much. Let's start with that and see where we go. You can easily add. You can't so easily take away. So let's add quite a bit of water to that and get the end of a brush or pokey tool, anything, and spread that out so you can see a teeny drop of paint just goes so far. There we go. Let's just wipe that. See, it wants to always go back together. No, you're not. You will do as I say. So before that clumps up again, let's just dab this into there, see what we get. Ooh, 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 look at all the little dots. That is lovely. Right. I need more space than I've got. I'm just going to dab up the heaviest parts of that. I wouldn't if I was doing this by myself, I'd just let it dry. But, you know, trying to make a video here, guys. So yeah, that's okay. Let's just dip back into that. To get a nice, not coverage. I don't want it all covered. This is the sort of thing that I want. I like it when it does that. So just pick up what we can off there. Oh, that's really nice. Right, let me just clean this mat off. If you've got another bit of paper hanging around and you want to put it onto, you know, clean it off onto there, that's, you know, good way of using it. And that is ordinarily what I would do, but I'm not on this occasion. So let's just dry this. That's looking nice, actually. And the big plus side of using paints, the distress paints, is that once this is dry, it's not for budging. You can move it around when it's wet with water, the same as you can with distress inks. But once it's dry, you can add another layer onto it, and it's not going to mix up and give you that mud colour that you always invariably get. So that's why I use the distress paints. I love them. I absolutely love them. It's got a thick chunk up there. But you know, they are a sort of sturdier medium than inks. Inks are very thin and wouldn't have a problem on this paper. I think I'm probably testing this paper to its limits. So once that's dry, which it is, I can go in with another colour and it won't disrupt that one. So let's go in with Salvage Patina. And once again, I don't want very much. So I'm just tapping it. Not squeezing it at all, just tapping it. And back in with a paintbrush handle. Ooh, look at that. Salvage Patina is just such a gorgeous colour. So let's dip and see what we get. Look, it's looking lovely. And none of that vintage photo is disrupted in the slightest. It's dry, it's going nowhere ever. That's nice. That is nice. I'm going to have to dry this, I think, and then come back in and see if I can get some little dotty bits. And it is a question of just forwards and back, you know, just keep doing it till you've got a background that you're happy with. You could have started with a Salvage Patina if you wanted. Doesn't matter, doesn't make any difference. Let's dry that off, and then, as I say, and I keep repeating, but it's hard to believe that once it's dry, it's not moving anywhere. That's pretty dry. I haven't got much left, but I have got some, so I might as well make the best of it. Okay, I'm thinking I might want some speckled egg on here, actually, just to knock it down. Let's just wipe that Salvage Patina paint up. Yeah, I'm going to go and get some speckled egg. Okay, I was just thinking that's the other reason that it's lovely to use the distress paints, because we're so familiar with what the colours are. You know, we know, as soon as you say the colour, you know what it is in your mind. Whereas if you're using somebody else's paint, for example, you have to learn what the colours are. So this is just a bit of a more refined, sophisticated version of Salvage Patina, I always think. It's one of my absolute faves. I love that colour family though. I don't think I'm alone in that. I think a lot of us like those sort of tealy colours. Yeah, it's beginning to knock that vintage photo back a little bit, which is what we want. That's what I want. I mean, you know, you do yours the way you want yours to be. You might not want these colours at all. You might want to do blues or greens, which I'm going to move on to at some stage once I get past this fetish with browns and teals. Right, let's dry that. What's my dryer? Right, I've given that a really good dry. It is properly dry now. So I could go back in with the Salvage Patina, or I could persevere with a speckled egg. I've still got quite a lot of white. I'm thinking I'll do one more speckled egg and then possibly some salvage patina. See what happens this time. Yeah, now it's beginning to get interesting. Definitely. Yeah, that's looking much better. Much better. And because of the fact it's paint, it lies over the one underneath. You just, you know, you can see all the dots of the little speckled egg there over the vintage photo. I love paint. I love this distress paint. So I'm going to have one more go with the salvage patina, and I think we're probably about there then. Lovely. Okay, one more little go with the salvage patina. I definitely don't want too much of this. It's very potent. Water them down a little bit to get them moving around. And in we go. Let's see what we get. Trying to avoid that big bit there. Look at that. It's looking so nice. Yeah, that's nice. It depends what you're looking for. You know, maybe you just like to use a piece of coloured card here instead of going to all this shenanigans to try and make a background. That's just about everything that's on there now. Nice, lots of detail on that. Let's clean this off. Let's clean my brush off as well while I'm here. There we go. Just like it never happened. So I can put that to one side. I'm finished with that for the time being. Right. Well, that's very, very wet. I did do another couple just in case it was too wet. I really like this one. It's lovely. I'm going to try and give this a really good dry though, because I'd like to use this from start to finish if we can. Okay, so that really is properly dry now, and actually, you know, considering it's thin paper, it's handled that really, really well. So now I need to decide where I'm going to cut out my 6.5 by 4 by 5. No, 7 by 5. I need half an inch of it is going to be turned in. So what does that measure there? Not wide enough, so I'll have to do it this way. So I want it to be 7. Let's get the Jolly Green Giant out. Seven by 5. So I'll make my 7 this way. That's probably got more going on than this one. I'll turn it upside down to do it, then I'll get the right one. So that's at 7, and that's a nice remnant. and then I want to cut this at 5. There, maybe. No, I like this side better. Let's put this way, we don't need that to cut 5 inches. Get the Timmy trimmer out. So, yeah, I like this side better. So I'm going to have to straighten this top off. Right. So 5 inches. Is that right? No, because I need it, it's going to be a pocket. So yeah, let me show you what I mean. It needs to be 3.5 there. So we've got ½ an inch here for the pocket. So 3.5. So I need it to be 4.5 because I need gussets by 7. 4.5 by 7. Right. So let's put that at 4.5 then. And this is what we've got left. That's no use to man the beast, but these 2 pieces might be. So I'll hang on to them. And this is our piece that we're going to use to build up on. Now, if there's any areas that you're not overly sure of, that you like or whatever, now's your time to go in with your ink and perhaps darken them down. I actually quite like that. I think that's nice. So I'm just going to live with that. I like it. So now I'm going to crease in, score in my ½ an inch all the way around, and then we'll be able to see where the design's going, where our pretty stamp, etc. So I'm just doing ½ an inch all the way around. Oops, not there, I did 5/8. It's not so easy once it's been painted because it's not lying exactly flat. Right, so let's just cut these corners off. I've just found these little orange scissors after being on the missing list for, oh, maybe a year or more. They were just in my drawer where all my other stuff is, but I feel quite sure I've looked for them in there before. However, found them now. They're really nice and sharp. Fiskars ones, I believe. Right, don't need them. And just need to fold in the ½ inch. So that's, yeah, this can be our pocket edge. So let's glue that down because that's going nowhere. There we go. It is funny, painting it makes it much stronger because it's kind of resistant to being stuck down there. Naughty people. And I'll fold the others in while I'm here so we can see what we've got to work with. There we go. There we go. So this is our background. Lovely. Now I need to go around there and ink it with something. On mine I used ground espresso. But I think that maybe I could lighten it a little bit. That's what I'm thinking. I've got this eyes ink. It's called Ocean. I just have it to hand. It's not, you know, I didn't choose it specially. It's just what there was. So let's have a go with that. You never know. It might be nice. It might be nasty. Oh no, I think it's quite nice. I think it's brightening it up a little bit, bringing it out of the grunge. It's nice to experiment. I love experimenting. So there we go. So yeah, it looks nice and bright. This looks brighter in real life than it does on the camera, I can tell you. Right, so what we need now is, well, we need flowers and we need this clock. That's the next two things. So the flowers, I have used this flower here out of the set by All and Create called Clocks and Flowers by Tracy Evans. It's a lovely A4 stamp set. That's the one I chose because I liked this flower. So what I've done is I've stamped it out several times, 3 times in fact, and then I've just fussy cut the flower out and then coloured it and embossed it. So let's do that now. So I'm going to use this ocean again. Let's put a little bit down there. Put some water up there. Just use your paintbrush or a water brush, whatever you've got. And right where it's near the middle, that's where you want your darkest colour. It's a bit similar to painting the Edith flowers, really. Very similar, in fact. So just at the bottom of each petal, you want it to be darker. So there's no great technique or anything to this. It's just nearer that centre, they want to be darker. So there we are. So then pick up some of your water and just drag that colour out. So it still will be darker nearer the centre, but you're dragging it out towards the ends of the petals. And just to make it even more pronounced, let's put some more of that ink. You don't need the ink I'm using. Use, peacock feathers, mermaid lagoon, is that what it's called? Salvage patina, anything like that will do. I just found this in the drawer. Thought, oh, we'll give that a go. So there we go. That's about that, I'd say. Doesn't really need any more. Says she ladling it on. There we go. That's fine. I'm happy enough with that. Lovely. Right. So let's just clean this up. Budge along the bus, dearie. And let's dry that. There's a lot of stages to these things, but it is all about the layers. It's absolutely all about the layers. Ooh, it's getting dry, it's floating away. I think that's dry, so I want to just emboss that now. And I'm going to use my embossing dabber, which I love, and one of Tim Holtz Distress embossing glazes in salvage patina. So let's open that first. Let's put the embossing stuff on here. So just on the flower, I'm not doing the stem, just on the flower. And hold that centre bit because the head of this flower might easily come off if you don't just keep your finger there. So there we are, that's that on. Let's put that there. So this is translucent, this embossing glaze. That's its charm, that's its selling point, that's what makes it different. So you can see, it is coloured, but you can see through it. So there we are. Let's put this back in the jar. And I really love the embossing glaze. I find it quite handy for lots of things. There we go. So let's just heat this fella up. Doesn't take long. There we go. And then if I hold him up, you'll be able to see that you can see all the lines. Oh, where are you there? You can see all the lines and everything, all the detail through it. It's just now shiny and a hint of that salvage patina on it. I love it. I absolutely love it. So next thing then is the clock. So what I've done here is make the clock in black, and then I've got a disc in the centre that's copper. It's mirror card, if you can see that, which I could do again. I could copy exactly that. Oh, before I do that, look, I'd stenciled on that and I'd forgotten. That's what's wrong with it. It needs stenciling. So I used this one with the dots on it, and I think I'm going to use, shall I use that? I think so. I think that'll, I'll give it a go, and if I don't like it, I'll go for it with brown, one of the browns. So I've got a brush here. Mr. F's out at the moment. He's gone sending packages off. Right, so let's give this a try and see what happens. Yeah, I like that. That's all right. You don't want it all over, just little places. I think that's probably enough, really. Yeah, I'd say that's enough. You don't want to drown it in it. It's easy to actually overdo it. Then I want my little text stamp, this one, which came out the Tiny Toadstools kit set, Tim Holtz set. It's absolutely filthy. It's disgustingly dirty. And what colour am I going to use? Maybe I can use a distress one if I want to, because I'm not going to use water, so I'll use Vintage Photo. It's nice and light, isn't it? It's a nice light colour, and this seems to be having a light vibe. Too light, can't even see it. Let's try that on a bit of paper. Yeah, it's there. I think it's just too light. Gonna have to move up. I've got walnut stain, I've got ground espresso. Let's go for the ground espresso. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it's kind of better. I can see it a bit. I wouldn't say it was particularly noticeable. In fact, it's not noticeable enough. I might as well whistle in the wind. So let's get the big boys out. VersaFine Claire Fallen Leaves, brown. Let's just wipe this off. Sometimes the oxides stay on your stamps. Right, let's try again then. Third time's a charm. Third time is indeed a charm. Just a little bit there. A little bit there. Bigger bit here. Yeah, this is better. Yeah, much better. Happier with this now. Just need a little bit up on that top there. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Whoops. Just a tiny little bit along there. There we go. Yes, that is so much better. I'm so much happier with that. I'll hold it up for you in a sec. That's so much better, isn't it? Yes. Right, so back to the problem that we did have with the mirror and the clock. Now I've already got a couple cut out because I cut these out yesterday when I was doing my sample, and they just didn't fit in. They just didn't look right. But I'm thinking today that copper one might look quite nice on there. You're not seeing the full. You see, it's really, it's mirror card. So I'm thinking that would go in there, and I'm also thinking that a black centre might be quite nice. I don't know, it might not be. Let's just have a look and see. And then I've got my flowers. I don't know, might be a bit dark. I have also got a sort of this one. I've got all sorts of things. So I cut out loads yesterday and didn't like them, so that might be all right, you know. Yeah, I think, yes, I'm liking that. So the question is, do I want to stamp on this or not? What could I stamp? Well, I could stamp using my text. That might be quite nice. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, it's exciting, isn't it? Well, it is for me. Yeah, like it. No, I just love it. I just do. It doesn't take much to make me happy, all right? I just like it. So that's going there. We're going to have the copper around the edge. Yeah, lovely. Wonder if I can bring you in a little bit. Look at that. I did it myself. Wow. Right, so let's get that stuck down then before we start doing anything else. I'm going to have to leave that clock there. 12 o'clock. Where's 12 o'clock there? Put 12 o'clock at the top. Actually, I think the thing is I need to stick that down first, because that's got to be fairly, yeah, okay. Let's stick that down first. So this could be a while, because there's a fair bit to. I'm just going to put a little blob in the middle of those numbers. Go all the way around. Yeah, sorry, it's just going to take a little minute to do. No way around it. Now the outside. It's funny how this one's taking on a much lighter overall finish, you know. The one I did yesterday was still quite grungy. Right, there we go. So width 12 at the top. Let's place this down. Just a little bit further this way. There we go. Yeah, I think that's fine. So let's press that down. I've got a clean tummy towel anyway. Cleanish anyway. Oh my goodness, they're all manky. Let's give that a good press down. There we go. Right, so now let's put the centre in. I don't think I want to ink around it. No, I don't think so. I think that would just start to deaden it a little bit, which I don't want. So this is cardstock from the Tim Holtz, what's it called? Coordinations. Yeah. And they're all different colours to match the Ranger inks. This one, I think, is Rusty Hinge, which I have to say is one of my favourites. So there we are, we've got that in there, got the text going the right way. Oh lovely, this is coming on really nicely. Yeah, that was the clock face from the same thing. You see, it's too much all together, I think. So the next thing to do then is to put our flowers on, I guess. So let's just plitter around for a minute and see where these need to go, or where I'm happy with them. So I want those two sort of overlapped there, and then this one on this side, like that. So it's not even. Oh, that looks nice. Doesn't that look nice? Do you think that looks nice? I do. Sorry. Right, so I've got some, excuse me. Oh my goodness, I nearly choked to death there. Anyway, as you can tell, I didn't. Right, so what I want is some dimensional foam tape, which Fancy Nancy sent me a ton of. So thank you. So I'm going to put this one down first, and I'm going to use one height of it, you know, just one piece. Not going to stack them, that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on first, because I've had these years now. I don't know when she sent them, but it's a goodly while ago. So I'm going to put some glue on, then I'm going to put my dimensional tape on. It's a bit too long, so let's just cut that off a wee bit. About there. Lovely. It's great. Now let's yeah, I want to glue the stem down as well. So let's put some glue on the stem. Take off the backing off that and put a little bit of glue on there. This flower ain't moving. It's not for moving anywhere. I'm just going to fold, just make sure they're not sticking up. And that's going to go there. Lovely. Let's stick that down. Oh, I haven't even trimmed the bottom off him. There we go. Let's get the Timmy towel at work again. Now you don't want to crush that down too much, because you've just, you know, you want dimension. But I don't want all this glue down here. So there we are, there's our first one in. Now the second one, we're going to have to build it up a little bit more, because it's going on top of this one. So it kind of needs two, but over this side only. Let's use the narrower stuff, I think we might be better with that. A little bit of glue down here somewhere. And put that on. Take the backing off. Another little bit of glue. Another little bit of tape. put that on top, so you're stacking it, so you've got double height now. There we are. So we want the stem glued down and just a little bit on the tips over here. Right, so that's going to go there, like that. And the stem comes down like that, lovely. So, yeah, perfect. Right, let's just make sure we haven't got any glue anywhere we don't want it. Lovely, that's great. That's pretty. And this one over here, we want it to be raised up a little bit, but it doesn't have to be raised up a lot. So, and I don't want to do all of the stem at this stage. In fact, I'll leave the entire stem and I'll do it later. And you'll see why in a minute. So I'll take some of this. Stick it on there. Take the backing off. So it's just gonna, it's dimensionalize a word. I don't think it is actually. It's just going to give dimension anyway to these flowers, so they'll stand out. So that's going just there, like that. Lovely. And we've got this stem that isn't stuck down, but that's okay. That's part of the master plan. Let's get rid of these sticky bits of stuff. Alright, so the next thing, oh, it's looking so nice. I like it a lot. Next thing to do is some circles with some numbers on. And I want to use for that, what do I want to use for that? I don't think I want to use that. I think I might just have to make myself a little bit of paper that's just got I'm actually wondering about that, the Tim Holtz book that I told you about, the coordinations. Just see if there's like a turquoise here. Yes. That's perfect, isn't it? That is perfect. Right, let me just trim a bit out of that. I only need a little bit. Sorry, it's not very good on camera, is it? Not very good at all. Right, it's going away. There we go. So cut that bit out, okay? And it matches our flowers perfectly. So what I want now are some number stamps. So these are the Tim Holtz Merchant, it's called, and they're just all numbers. So I want, they come in 1, 2, 3, 4 sizes. I want the second size. So I'm just going to select 3 numbers completely randomly. Number 5 as well. There we go. And I'm going to stamp these out on here. So I'm actually going to use black because I'm going to use the brown. I think the brown will be okay. I think so. But really make sure that you give them a good coverage. And then stamp them out. Not right next to the edge because we're going to cut circles around them. Yeah, that's good, that's good. Just the same for all 3. Just give it a minute for the ink to transfer. go. And the last one, which happens to be a 2. And just give it a minute there for that to transfer. I can hear Mr. F coming back. There we are. So we've got our 3 numbers stamped out. I'll just put this on pause while he gets in. Okay, so that's Mr. F safely home, packages safely sent. Let's hope they get there in some sort of timely manner. Right, so I've stamped on here. I've got my inch hole punch. I only have an inch and a 2 inch. I think I need to address that actually, but for the moment the inch is fine. So I'm going to centralise that in my punch, or as near as I can, and punch it out. There we go. So I've got a 2. Oh, this doesn't even work properly. I'm very punch deficient. That one. And the last one. There we go. Yeah, it's not right. It's only a hobbycraft one, so I don't know why I expected it to be brilliant, and I have had it some time now, so. Right, so these are going to go willy-nilly. Let's have a look and see what they look like. Yeah, I quite like those actually. I quite like those, but they're so similar to the flowers. I'm not sure if they kind of stand out enough. I needed something that was a contrast, I think. That's a dilemma, isn't it? Yeah, I think I'm going to do them again, but I'm going to do them in this colour, the colour that's behind there, the one that I think is Rusty Hinge. So I'll do that and I'll come back to you before I stick anything down. Right, so I have cut out 3 numbers in the Rusty Hinge and 3 numbers in whatever this colour is. It was in the days before Salvage Patina, so it's not that. I don't know what it is. It's got a key on the back here that tells you what they are. So might be that one, Tumbled Glass. Yeah, it doesn't really matter anyway. I'm just telling you out of interest. Right, so I've got these. So do I want all one colour, all the other colour, or a mixture? Who knows? Right, let's just see what these look like. Let's put that one up under there a little bit. Like that. Okay, and then let's put one up under here. Like that, and then I want one down at the bottom. So the question is, do I want it rusty coloured or turquoisey coloured? Oh my goodness me. Put that one there, just slightly off centre. What about that? Yeah, I like that. What's wrong with that? I've got 3 more numbers left for another project. I'm not going to ink around them. I don't want to deaden this piece. So I'm literally going to glue them and stick them down. You can see this coordinations paper, on one side it's kind of like a linen weave sort of thing. And I didn't notice that and I stamped on it, and of course the stamp came out fairly indistinct because of the texture on the paper, but it's smooth on the other side, so we're all right. So that's going to go about there. Try and get the numbers straight, because it's really annoying if it's not. There we go. So move on to number 5. Number 5 is alive. Does anybody remember that film, Short Circuit? The little robot who read everything voraciously, could read a book in seconds. It was a good film, that. I liked it. So pop that one there. Are we doing all right? Is it looking okay? I think so. Yeah, I think so. I like it. So, you know, I keep saying it to you, but it's true. It's all about the layers. Keep adding layers. And how will you know when to stop? Generally, when you've put on one layer too many and you think, oh, wish I'd stopped before that. That is generally when you, when you know you've gone past the stopping stage. Let's put the lid on that while we're waiting for that just to take a little bit. Lovely. Now the only other thing that I want to add to that is one word. You know, I don't really do sentiments and all that malarkey, but this set has got a word that says specimen, and I love it. So I'm going to have that. I must say, you know, I'm an absolute convert to these All and Create stamps. Oh my goodness, they are so gorgeous. I'm just wondering whether to do this onto a turquoise background. I'll do it onto there, I think. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I haven't put my numbers away yet. Oh my goodness, we're getting disorganised. So what's new there? Nothing. That's what's new. Nothing. So give that a good inking. I just want this bit here that's a bit lighter for my background. So the paper won't lie flat. So let's put that along there. If you are interested in All and Create stamps, they do have a Facebook group which is full of inspiration. There we are, lovely specimen. Let's cut that out. Try and cut it out. No, I haven't cut that anything like straight. Nothing like straight at all. And that ends wonky as a donkey. But this, I don't know what I thought I was doing there. Let's see, what's that look like? Does that look square? Let's put it on my mat and see. I think you could say it's not bad. It's not bad. That'll just about do then. So I want to put that under this stem that we left open, unglued, and put it there between the E and the C. And I think that'll look quite nice there. I am going to ink around that actually. Yeah, with that same eyes ink that we had. Just give it a quick, just to make it stand out a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. I like that. Right, let's get this stuck down. So I hope you experiment, hope you have fun. Don't be too harsh on yourself. If something doesn't work, it's only a bit of paper. I know it's your time as well, and it is really annoying when things don't work, but they don't work all the time, they just don't. So you've got to be prepared for that, and you know, not cry too much when it happens. That's squarish. There we go. Right, and that, I think, is our pocket done. So it's going to go in our journal. Is this our journal? Yep. So that's the cover, that's the first spread. Then we come to here. Now that's going to go there, like, no, I made that the leading edge, so it's going to go on this, oh, come on. I've made it the wrong size. I don't believe I did that. Oh, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. So I think the thing, I showed you earlier that I have got these other two backgrounds that I'd made. So I think it's time to implement them. Mistakes happen to everybody. They do happen to everybody. So don't be alarmed that you made a mistake. So I want to cut this exactly to the size of that panel. Let's open this out a bit. It's a bit tricky. Let's take the other piece off. That's a dashed good idea. There we go. Thinking about it, it's that one, isn't it, that I need? Yes, it's this one. So let's cut this out to go there, and I'm going to use that side because I like it better. So I need that to be 6 by 4. I definitely do. Let's just check that that is 4, because it's one of those central panels and it might be slightly less. It's a hair less than 4. So I want it 6 by a hair less than 4. See if I can actually cut something out. So what does that measure along there? Not quite 6, so I'll have to cut 6 out this way. No, that doesn't want to go in there. Right, so 6 is there. And then a hair less than 4. It does get a bit wrinkled up, your paper, when you've painted it, but do your best to flatten it out. Right, so there we go. So that piece is going to go on there like that, and it fits perfectly, I think. And then we're going to mount that on there. So this is still going to be our pocket. It's just on a background. Looks all right to me. Let's just check that this is right. Yeah, because that's where this is where the join is. Now I can put it on there and decide at a later date what I want to do with this. I might want to cut that down. But for the moment, this is the first piece of my second half. This is the bit that was paper clipped together if you've bought it from me. So it's the first panel on the second piece. This is the first piece, and this is the first panel of the second. So, actually thinking about that, is that right? Yeah, that's right, because that folds that way, which means our pocket wants to open there. Perfect. Right, so first panel of the second piece. So let's ink around here, stick that on, and then see where we're up to. So I'm going to ink around it with that same colour that I used before, that Eyes Ink Ocean, because it's nice and bright and it'll tie in nicely. It's nice ink this, isn't it? Really got a lot of pigment in it. I'm not sure that South doesn't have something to do with these eyes ink colours. I don't know where I'm getting that from. Could be 100% wrong. Right, so that's going to go on there. That's going to look lovely. Other way around, I think, the lighter bit at that side. Right, I'm going to use my collall for this because I think it might have more stickability and I can move it around to get it exactly where I want it. Fancy cutting it to the wrong size, oh dear. But there's always a solution, guys, always. And we've done a lot of work on that, so I'm not for just throwing it away. Oh, it's the wrong size, let's stick it in the bin. There's got to be a way around it. There we are, right, so. I just remembered. I need, I've just put glue on there now. I need some washi tape on that. Silly Billy. I'm just going to put it on this side because I've got a something gluey in the oven. No, it's not in the oven. Get out the way. Right, there we go. So let's just give that a burnish. Lovely. And it's this here, isn't it? So oh, now I've completely confused myself. Yeah, it's that piece. And it folds there. So I'm going to leave that folded so I can see where to put this. Right up to the fold. There we go. Not moving as much as I would like, so I'm going to take it off again. There, that's that. I think that's good. I'm going to call that good. Let's just check that there's nothing hanging over. Not a smidge. Perfect. Lovely. So let's just go over that with the handle of our scissors and make sure that's pressed down. There we go, lovely. So now we can put our pocket back on, which is still going to be a pocket, like that. And it looks perfectly fine to me. So I need glue on all of the flippies. That one first. I feel like I've been doing this video for hours. Time will tell, probably is hours. Right, so those two in and that out. So let's just put that right on that edge. About halfway, I'd say, is probably good. There we go. See, remedy. We've remedied it. 2022 mistakes, isn't it? Oh no. Oh no. I'm just going to get my flat bone folder out and just go in there and just try and make sure that, although it's sticking, the glue isn't oozing out too much inside. There we go. So, do not stick to there. Thank you. So there we have it. I mean, it looks lovely now it's all done. Oh my goodness me. What would Kyung say at a time like this? Put some lace on it. Well, that's not happening because this isn't... I'm not really a very lacy person actually, although I did ask you some time ago, well, not that long ago, if you'd put in the comments what you'd like to see me do next. Bernice suggested altering a little golden book, which I'm giving consideration to, of course. And quite a few of you said shabby chic, which I haven't done for some time because I've kind of wandered down this track, which I love. But I've got loads and loads of lace, so it might be a good idea to do a shabby chic one and use up some of the lace I've got. So that's going to go there like that. These are where the two pieces join of the journal. And like I say, once I don't want to stick that down onto there yet, because I might want to make this into a half pocket or, you know, diagonal pocket or something. I don't know yet, but that's where that's going to go. So you can see where it is. We've got the first spread, then we've got a blank page, and then this is the joining page. This will be paper clipped when you get yours. And that's the page that we've just put that on. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know, seemed a bit of a struggle. Maybe it was. But all things being equal, I really like the outcome. I hope you do too. And I really hope you give it, or something similar. Obviously, you won't have the same stamps, colours, anything. Maybe you don't even like those colours. But give it a go, see what happens. Post it in the group. I love to see what you're doing in the group, particularly if it's something that I may have inspired. I really like that. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye!